Tony D and little Joan in the background, and this is a screenwriter's rant on Dormouse, a movie involving comic books and revenge. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books, links in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 10 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. Okay, so yeah, this is right in my wheelhouse. The main character is a comic book creator, and she is, I don't know, she lives in a terrible part of a city somewhere. Famke, is that how you say that? Famke Janssen plays her, I don't know, mentor. She works somewhere in the city. This is her sidekick, I'm guessing, slash boyfriend. His nickname is Ugly. And she just lives in a depressed part of town, making comic books, not making any money. But she knows there are girls missing, and she's trying to find them, and no one wants to help her. What's the name? Donal Logue, I think that's how you say his last name, is in it. It's with him, so he's not a main character. And they call her Dormouse. I think her name's Mouse, and then they call her Dormouse, and then, you know, you can see her hair looking like ears. So basically what happens is she looks into the missing girls, and everybody tells her don't do it, and then she gets kidnapped and becomes a sex slave along with these girls. And then she busts out. She busts out and starts killing them all. Good for her. Yeah, this looks like my kind of movie. It's also got a punk soundtrack. And I think your main protagonist here, yeah, she's she looks appropriately jaded for this movie. Donal Logue. Famke Janssen. Yeah, they're not main characters, but written and directed by Avon Jogia. I like your soundtrack, Avon. So it looks cool. I think this could work. Can't see the rest of the credits. Haley Law is the main actress here. Yeah, I mean, this feels like an indie movie with a little bit of action in it. Probably not going to have a ton of action because you just don't have the budget in an indie movie like this, but enough that it'll, you know, you build up to it, you can make it work. That's really sort of the key, right? If you have a movie, it's action-packed, or it's not action-packed, let's say, because you can't afford all the stunts. What you do is you build up to what little action you do have, and thereby it feels like an action movie, kinda, but it's really more of like an indie crime thing. So this is done with like low-budget mafia movies and whatnot. But this feels a little bit, it's got a little bit of a true romance vibe to it. Yeah, because you've got her and her, I think her boyfriend, although he's not in danger. She's saving the girls. So I like it. I like the character. I like that she's saving the girls. I like that she's a comic book creator, obviously. And I also think it's funny she's trying to get out of the town or city or whatever, and trying to do comic books. Yeah, good luck with that. So this could be great. And the soundtrack, A+. This is the way these movies should roll out. So first act, she's living in this dump of a city or suburb or whatever the hell it is. It's very urban. And, you know, she's talented. Everybody likes her. And Famke likes, you know, she's the one who can see it. You know, maybe she had a little talent too, but she didn't go anywhere. And she's like, oh, you got to get out of this town. Then, you know, she's been noticing these girls disappear. Maybe she's friends with them, knows them. She draws their pictures and it's like, have you seen this girl? And everybody's like, oh, don't go down that path. And then one night she sees, you know, a girl kidnapped by guys in suits and in a van. It's very professional, like a little too high end. And then no one she goes to the cops, let's say. Cops don't want to help. That's probably Donal. He's probably a cop. Looks like he's dressed like a detective in this. Then, so second act, she takes it upon herself to figure out what the hell happened. Maybe she can accumulate enough evidence that she'll at least get the cops involved. Well, she does some digging around. Next thing you know, she's kidnapped. And now she finds out where the girls are, because now she's one of them, and she's trapped in some bizarre sex trade thing where she's chained up, and but they picked on the wrong girl, right? So she turns the tables on him, gets a gun, starts blasting away, and then most of probably the second half of the second act towards the end. First, it's some of her enduring what's happening, being told what the way of the world is, and then making her move, and then probably the second half of the second act is her starting to make moves to get the hell out of there and save the girls. And then the third act, maybe she goes after the main villain, whoever that is. I think there's a madam. Not Donal. I wouldn't think Donal, but maybe she's been betrayed, and that's the climax where she, maybe Famke betrayed her, and she's secretly been recruiting the girls all this time, and now she knows it, and then she goes after her at the end. Something like that. Big twist. Or she just kills everybody in the brothel, saves the girls, and then disappears and becomes sort of an avenging comic book angel. Or another ending would be she saves everybody and then does a comic book based on her character. Nobody ever figures out it's her, or they don't care, like Donald's the cops, and he covers it up, and then she launches a comic called Dormouse, where basically the events of real life are in the comic, and everybody likes it so much, and she's a huge success. Something like that. I don't expect it to end darkly, but it's got a good vibe because it's got that punk music, and it's not totally depressing. It doesn't seem very agenda driven. It's just kind of punk. It's just trying to be punk. I don't know if it is punk. It'd have to be very sort of off the wall to be punk. A lot of what is called punk these days, very conformist, obviously. A lot of the fashion in this, and even the setup is a little bit, we've seen a million times, but it is a bit punk in the old style. If you set it up right, you can still make the old punk stuff work to some degree, as opposed to the new punk, which I won't get into here because then it gets political. But yeah, Dormouse. I would totally say this movie, 100%. It's probably going direct to video, but I would see it. I would even go into a theater to see it. This would be the kind of art house movie I like to see. It's got a little bit of crime, a little bit of comics, probably a little bit of I'm hoping it. Didn't see any light moments in the trailer. Could have used one. Could have used like a good line from her. I mean, they had one okay line, which is like, "Don't call me Dormouse." It's pretty generic, but it needs something a little better than that. But other than that, I think it would be. I think it'd be pretty watchable. I think I would say it. All right, that's it for me, Tony D. Little Joan, you still there? Yeah. Check out our Odysee, Bitchute, and Rumble channels for our other two base takes, because we got more videos. We can't post them on here because of YouTube. Still don't trust YouTube. What's going on this week? Christmas is what's going on. Get your A in gear. Get your Christmas stuff done. And we'll see you